Think about those colorful rockets on wheels running in front of you, screaming loudly, hinting at their jet-like speed. You fear you might miss the adventure in the blink of an eye. Yes, I'm talking about F1 sports cars, which have the power to create thrill and fear at the same time. But believe me, these amazing machines weren't always so sleek, so safe, and speedy. They used to look completely different, more like clunky boxes on wheels. In this video, you'll race back through time to see how F1 cars transformed over the years, from basic race cars to the high-tech wonders they are today. Let's get more curious to know how speed on wheels took its shape. Before the existence of Formula One, the racing world was familiar with early races known as Grand Prix. These races focused on showcasing the latest car technology among car manufacturers by racing them, but with fewer safety rules. It was the time when brave drivers dared to race in open-wheeled cars without seat belts and fancy safety features. Companies like Mercedes-Benz and Auto Union were building the fastest and most powerful cars they could. Also, racing was without many rules. Simply put, the car makers were making powerful dragons only. Fast, but extremely dangerous for crazy drivers. Can you imagine racing without a seatbelt? Of course, no. In 1950, a whole new chapter opened in the history of racing. Something big happened. Formula One was born, but not out of scratch. Unlike many inventions of today, Formula One emerged from pre-existing Grand Prix racing cars, but because of safety regulations by FIA. At that time, the FIA, the Fédération Internationale de l'Automobile, standardized racing rules and regulations for everything from car design and safety standards to race formats and driver licensing. With these rules, the roar of the engine was no longer the only factor for deciding victory. Now, car designers had to find the perfect balance between speed and safety. They needed a better car design to ensure the car gripped the track during sharp turns, just like today's well-designed bikes, which stay upright at high speeds. The first F1 cars mostly had their engines in the front, like regular cars. One iconic car from this time was the Alfa Romeo 158, with its 1.5-liter straight-eight engine. This real champ was designed and made by Italian engineer Gioacchino Colombo. He introduced this car on May 13, 1950, in the first ever Formula One World Championship race. It looked a bit like a spaceship with a long nose that housed the car's engine. The design was more boxy but functional, thanks to weight reduction, which helped with better speed. However, this early car design relied on traditional materials like steel and aluminum. Lighter materials like carbon fiber were not known then. Safety was still a concern with these open-wheeled cars. Their crashes could be bad. Sadly, despite winning races, early days Formula cars also faced some terrible accidents. Resultantly, race organizers became serious about drivers' safety and implemented new regulations to reduce accident risks. They were also determined to reduce accident risks besides building the fastest cars possible. So the era between 1960 to 1980 proved a game changer for Formula One. This time, things got really interesting because car designers had a revolutionary idea of adding wings and spoilers to their F1 car. Thanks to the evolution of aerodynamics, they added airplane wings to the cars, but flipped upside down. Unlike airplane wings that generate lift, F1 car wings created downforce by pushing the car downwards. This downforce increased the speed and allowed the car to grip the track during sharp corners and maintain stability at high speeds. In 1962, some car companies, like Lotus, shifted the car's engine in the back of the car instead of the front. This was a major design shift. They also replaced the large wing with the smaller ones. This made the car lighter in the front and even better at handling corners when turning at high speed. One iconic car from this era was the Lotus 25. In 1970, there came Lotus 72 with its wedge-shaped body, high nose, low tail, and crumple zones. This car dominated races because of its superior aerodynamics, enhanced safety, and dynamic stability. Its design, nicknamed the wedge, created a suction force that pushed the car down onto the track at high speeds. This downforce kept the car glued to the ground, which allowed drivers to corner faster and safer. Its crumple zones in the front and rear also absorbed impact energy in crashes, a big leap for driver safety. This era also saw the rise of legendary car designers like Colin Chapman, who were obsessed with making cars lighter and faster. They started using new materials like space-age stuff called carbon fiber, which is super strong but really light. They truly built a race car out of feathers and rocket fuel. Thanks to wings, downforce, and lightweight materials, F1 cars were becoming faster and more exciting to watch than ever before. But one major concern was still safety. Should you blame the car makers for paying less attention to safety features? No, they were still following the old rules of the FIA. This is why the 1970s proved a dark time in F1 racing history. A series of terrible accidents forced everyone to take a hard look at safety. Speed was important, but not at the cost of drivers' lives. Therefore, safety became the top priority in Formula One. Race organizers put their foot down and made stricter rules. They demanded better cockpit designs, stronger seat belts to keep drivers strapped in, and even crash testing procedures to make sure the cars could handle a bump or two, or 10. New safety features started popping up, like crumple zones in the front and back of the cars. These crumple zones were designed to take the brunt of the force in a crash, protecting the driver inside. Another big change was the gradual shift towards cockpits with halo head design in 2018. Old days open-wheeled cars were fast, but also dangerous because drivers were exposed to flying debris and crashes. Slowly, car designers thought of incorporating a canopy or a bubble around the driver for better protection. These titanium structures saved drivers' heads from debris or wheels during several high-speed crashes. However, Formula One cars were still lightning fast, but now they were a lot safer. The race for speed continued, but with the knowledge that driver safety was absolutely crucial. The future of F1 was looking bright, but with a much stronger emphasis on keeping everyone safe. Fast forward to 2014, and Formula One took another big leap, going green. Yes, the super fast race cars became eco-friendly. That's the idea behind the hybrid era of Formula One cars. These new cars combine super powerful engines with electric motors, kind of like having a tiny electric car helping out under the hood. It's like a double dose of speed, but there's more to it than just power. These hybrid cars use fancy technology called telemetry for a real-time chat between the car and the pit crew. Telemetry sends information back and forth, letting the team see exactly how the car is performing. This lets them make quick decisions during the race, like adjusting the engine settings for an extra burst of speed, or saving fuel for a late push. Speaking of control, F1 cars also got some driver aids to help them handle those crazy high speeds. Traction control keeps the wheels from spinning too fast, kind of like training wheels for a supercar. Anti-lock braking systems help drivers stop safely without the wheels locking up. These features make the car more predictable and easier to control, allowing drivers to focus on the race instead of just wrestling with the machine. And let's not forget the computers. Today, car designers use special computer programs called computer-aided design to create these amazing machines. This is like building a car in a video game, but way more powerful. These programs help them design lighter, stronger, and faster cars even before they start building them in real life. Fast forward to today, Formula One cars like the Mercedes W11 2020 showcase the climax of engineering with features like hybrid engines, driver aids, and advanced computer-aided design. The race for speed continues, but with a new focus on being eco-friendly and giving drivers more control. Formula One cars are like high-tech superheroes, constantly growing to be the fastest, greenest, and most thrilling machines on the racetrack. So, this was the incredible journey of Formula One cars. You raced through time and saw how rear-engine placement, aerodynamics with wings, and downforce took the boxy designs of F1 cars to a whole new level. This all started with the concept of safer but faster racing. However, these high-tech marvels are pushing the boundaries, making them the ultimate gladiators of the racetrack. Let us know in the comments if you found this story of the evolution of F1 racing cars interesting. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to like and share it with your friends. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more exciting content.